What's up, Scrappy peeps? It's Adele from Inkie Quill, and today, oh my goodness peeps, get ready for it. I'm not only scrapping a 12 by 12 layout, but I'm also trying for the very first time ever a patterned paper background. I know, brace yourselves. I had to brace myself and bribe myself with several Cadbury mini chocolate Easter eggs before attempting this because I was quite nervous. So today I'm up as a guest designer for February for Cocoa Vanilla, using their More Than Words collection, which is beautiful. Zoe did an amazing job this month. She does an amazing job every time she releases something, but this collection really is me. It's got the florals, it's got scripty font, it's got ledger paper, and those little enamel dots. I'm going to have to buy several more packets of them because I can tell I'm going to hoard them. So this was the point when I realized, should we try something different? See, I have a problem, peeps. Whenever I have a deadline or a project due, I always seem to plan complicated or out of my comfort zone things that take a long time to film. So of course deadline's coming up, and so I chose to do something I was extremely not comfortable with, but I have to say in the end it's one of my top 5 layouts of all time. Now here I had lost my gold scissors, and so I was using these silly little ones that have a curve, like I've accidentally bent them, so they automatically cut wonky, which isn't a great thing when you're cutting photos. But I decided to persevere and use them until I find my normal scissors again. And I've decided to use this layout as a frame it in my house, because I realized I only have one photograph in my house. Only one photo on display. I think it's because we've lived in rentals for, I think, 7 years now. Wow, 7 years? Yep. So we've never had, you're not allowed to put holes in the wall. You're not allowed to put nails anywhere. They photograph every nail that's already up, and you can't add to that. So we've never been able to. We've tried 3M hooks a few times, removable adhesive hooks, and they always seem to fall off because the houses that we live in are quite damp and moldy. So it's a bit of a catch-22, but now I would like to start to put some more things on the walls, because this house seems to have a lot of hooks, but they're in random places, very strange places, obviously around the furniture of the people who lived here before us. But yes, so I end up loving this layout. I do something quite bold, which some of you may cringe at, but you'll have to stay tuned for that. So I just decided to mat my photo on a bit of white tissue paper and some polka dot tissue paper just to give it a bit of softness, and I am using a butt ton of adhesive. I know I use a lot of adhesive, and I'm okay with that. As I said, we live in very damp, moldy rentals usually. This one isn't, but who knows what the next one will be. And so I've had a lot of issues with times when I've only used maybe 2 strips of adhesive of things actually falling off in my album, and my flares always go rusty, and I just don't have luck with keeping my scrapbook pages damp free. So that's why I like to use a bit of extra adhesive. Plus it's going to be out in the open in our living room, which is probably will be the dampest, I guess, place in the whole house. I'm adding some craft foam to this one, and just to raise it up a little bit, I'm going to put it in a white shadow box that I've had sitting. I think I bought 3 of them as Christmas presents for both my mum and Aaron's mum, and I bought a 3rd one just in case clumsy old me dropped it and the glass smashed, and it was Christmas Eve and I couldn't get to the shop. So I've had one extra one sitting in my spare room for quite a while, and I thought it was time to use it. Now you might be saying at this point, Adele, what's that black paint doing? Why are you using that black paint? Why? Put it back. But I went for it. I think that with scrapbooking, we sometimes overthink things. I know I do. And my motto for this year is to use up my stash, but it's also just to get stuff done, get into it, dive into it, and not second guess myself too much. Just go with my gut. If it doesn't work out, there's always a way to fix things up and make it work, as Tim Gunn says on Project Runway. It's time for some Heidi Shine. Shake, 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 shake your Heidi Shine, shake your Heidi Shine. If you're new to my channel, welcome, by the way. I sing the Heidi Shine song anytime I use the Heidi Shine, so please forgive me for that. If you're new to my channel and if you've found me through the Cocoa Vanilla community, hi, welcome. I do 2 videos a week if you want to subscribe. Now look at this embossing powder. It is so old and crumbly, and I also am quite tangenty and have the attention span of a squirrel. Which isn't very long. Or a dog. Is it a dog that's looking? No, you have the attention span of a squirrel. Did I have that right? Or is it dog? Who knows? I have a bad attention span. I'm using the beautiful cluster of little hearts stamp that came with the collection and some Versamark. Now this is embossing powder and it's incredibly old. I think it's probably about 6, let's see. Yeah, it'd be 6-7 years old. It was when I very first started doing some card making classes with a friend, and way before I scrapbooked, way before. And I think I am due for some new embossing powder. I was talking to some of my American Patreon girls the other day, and I tried to use this gold one that I had in my stash, and it's not gold anymore. It's more of a murky, yucky brown. So I think I need to treat myself to just a couple of my key. I just need a black, a white, a gold, and maybe a pretty like pink or something embossing powders. Let me know in the comments below if there's a brand that you particularly like or have had good luck with. I think my local scrapbooking shop might have the Zing brand, which is American Crafts. Is that all right? I do have one of them, but I don't think I've used it very often. So let me know what you think. If you'd like some more videos on embossing powders, also let me know, because I've rediscovered them. Typically I've rediscovered them when they've passed their use by date a little bit. This white one, it's just not as white as it once was. So I do think I need to replace that. Do embossing powders have, like, not a used by date, but do they go off? Because I promise that gold has completely changed color. It's nowhere near gold anymore. So next up, I'm just adding some gold Heidi Shine, and every time I put that photo down, sorry, the lighting does change, but it always recorrects itself. I'm adding lots and lots of tape because it's on top of the powder, and because I'm a little bit lazy, I looked at my embossing, what are they called? Is it a powder tool? It's the little pillow that has the anti-static-y powder in it. You're meant to rub it over the space that you're embossing with before you emboss, so that the extra embossing powder, the excess, doesn't stick to your layout. Well, I looked at it and then I went, nah, I'm too busy for this today, and I really should have used it, because I got embossing powder everywhere. It's all over my photo too. It kind of adds a little, like, looks like little sprinkles of happiness on my photo. But yes, top tip, actually use the tools that are meant for the technique that you're using. That's my top tip from today. So I think that because this was such a big black bold section, I just wanted some soft florals to kind of balance it out. And the thing I love about the collection is that there's so many freaking embellishments in it. It's just beautiful. So there's vellum shapes. I have an unboxing video for this if you haven't seen it already, but there's vellum shapes, there's like normal cardboard ephemera, there's stamps, there's flares, there's enamel dots in hearts, chipboard, there's just everything. It's bursting. If you're like me and you like embellishment choices, then you'll have a lot of things to choose from in here. I did accidentally forget to turn my camera on while I just stuck those couple of flowers down, sorry. But the thing that I really like is contrasting embellishments. So putting the chipboard, the chunky chipboard, with the soft, thin, see-through vellum. I think it's really nice on layouts, especially like this, that you kind of want to add that little bit of softness to them and don't want everything so flat and blocky and hard. Next up, I decided I needed to balance it up in this bottom right-hand corner, so I grabbed some gold washi just from my stash and also cut a couple of strips of paper from the 6x6 paper pad and stuck them down in the corner, and I will do a little tiny cluster of things down there in a second. Going through the sticker sheet and adding a couple of tiny words, because I can't do any project without tiny words, it seems. I guarantee the amount of projects that I've done without tiny words you could count on your hands, and I've got a lot of albums that I've done. So I'm adding some, I was umming and ahhing about which colour to add of the enamel hearts, and I will admit I was going to use the pink, and then I selfishly wanted to keep it for another project because it's too pretty. So I decided to use the white because I'm probably more likely to use the pinks than I am the whites, just because sometimes I might be adding them to a white card in my project life or a white cardstock background already. So I thought better off save the pink, use the white while you've got a coloured background. I decided to add this little quote that says, I love you for all that you are, all that you have been, and all you're yet to be. Sorry, I'm trying to read it on my little screen, which I just thought was a really nice quote to do, and I wanted to do some white lettering on the black. I've been really loving writing with my Uniball Signo Broad on black paint. I have a couple of recent process videos on my second channel, Let's Get Inky, if you're into art journaling and just want a little bit more inky in your life. Head over there, because I've got a few of my recent videos have been white writing on black paint, and I'm in that phase at the moment. You know, when you get a technique and you just run with it for a while? Let me know in the comments, what technique are you currently not obsessed with, but just rather fond of? I would say lately I am rather fond of white writing on black paint, and also embossing. I have rediscovered embossing. I have filmed a couple of things with embossing in it lately, and it's fun. The thing that gets me from doing it more often is the quality of my embossing powders. I just need to redo my stash, and then I think you'll be seeing a lot more embossing on everything. So I'm almost done, adding a little bit more gold splatters to my page, and I just love how this looks. I am a sucker for ledger paper. It's the teacher within me. If you're new to my channel, I used to be a primary school teacher before having little Archie last year, and I love notebook paper, I love graph paper, lined paper, library cards, throw them at me. So when I saw this paper, I knew that it was perfect for this project. Aaron's also a bit of a notebook fiend as well. Together we have way too many notebooks in our stash, way too many. So by using this paper, it kind of brings in both of our love of paper together. So I think I'm almost done, but it kind of just needed a little something, because that black part was so black. I needed to bring a little bit more of the darker tones down to that bottom right corner. I was considering doing black splatters, but I thought that would be too much. I probably could have done black splatters, but I've decided to instead grab the stamp from the stamp set that says "Love This" in typewriter font, another font that is dear to my heart. I do everything. If I could handwrite in typewriter font, I would. It's my favorite font of all time, I think. And it also kind of juxtaposes with the cursive that I wrote with. I like messing with my fonts and experimenting with a bit of typography. But thanks for watching today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. I've got another little guest post later on in the month, And over on the Cocoa Vanilla blog, they are doing lovey themed layouts all week long. So make sure you head over there. I'll put the link in the description below. But stay tuned because I show Archie my layout and I think he rather liked it a lot. I actually came out to show Aaron and instead Archie was quite interested in the paper. I can't wait until I can scrapbook with him. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. Guess what, Archie? Look. Mummy did a layout. Do you like it? Is it pretty?
It's nice, isn't it?
Remember all those pretty things you helped me unbox? That you wanted to play with? I did something with them. Oh my goodness. Who's that? Who's that?
Who's that, Archie Bean?
Is that Mama and Dada? No, it's pretty paper. You can't have it. No.
Just looking, not touches.
Just look. Can't wait to scrapbook with him one day.